What if the place you called home was never really yours? Welcome to Reddit Night Confessions. Tonight, we enter room 217 of the Stanley Hotel. Seemingly ordinary, historic, cozy, but there's a secret lurking in its walls, a presence that doesn't forget. I checked into room 217 late in the afternoon. The hallway smelled faintly of old wood and wax polish. Everything seemed calm, almost too calm. The air felt thick, heavy, as if it were waiting. At first subtle, the faint creak of the floorboards behind me, shadows stretching in the corners, whispers of wind brushing against the curtains, things I tried to dismiss. The bathroom mirror fogged after a hot shower, but then a single word appeared, traced perfectly in the condensation. Stay. My heart raced. I told myself it was a trick of the steam, a prank, but deep down I knew something was wrong. The corner of the room seemed to darken unnaturally. The shadow moved independently of the light. A shiver ran down my spine. I felt observed, studied. The door handle twisted slowly, deliberately, as if unseen hands were testing it. My pulse throbbed in my ears. The door creaked open. The hallway outside stretched endlessly, shrouded in dim light. Fog drifted along the red carpet, curling around the walls. I stepped forward. Lights flickered overhead. I couldn't see anyone, yet the feeling of being watched intensified. My skin crawled. Back in the room near the wardrobe, I saw her. A faint, translucent figure of a maid standing perfectly still, staring. Blink, she vanished. Only shadows remained. The bed dipped slightly as if someone invisible had sat down. Sheets wrinkled. The air felt colder around me. I gasped. I backed into the wall, heart pounding. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but my legs refused to move. Clock hands approached midnight. The warnings I had read suddenly made sense. Midnight here meant something. Suddenly, lights flickered violently. The room trembled subtly, like a living entity. Curtains whipped across the floor. Papers lifted and floated as if carried by invisible fingers. An unseen presence pressed against me. My breath caught in my throat. I spun. Nothing. Except in the mirror inches behind me, she stood, eyes hollow, faintly glowing. Her head tilted unnaturally. Hair floated slightly as though underwater. Every frame of reality felt warped, wrong. I grabbed the camera on the table. It flickered with static. Each frame distorted her movement, making her flicker forward, closer, relentless. The ghost hovered at the end of the bed, her eyes fixed on me, tracking every twitch, every gasp. Her elongated fingers twitched, cracking ever so slightly. The room felt alive, breathing with her presence. An invisible force shoved me into the wall. Carpet pressed against my face. Wet footprints appeared on the floor, leading closer, deliberate, intentional. The bed creaked as if someone knelt on it. A faint whisper brushed my ear. Don't leave. In the mirror, she stood fully behind me. I couldn't breathe, time slowed. Fear consumed me. I spun again, flickering lights, shaking lamps, rapid breaths echoing in the room. She glided toward the bed. Bare feet hovered inches above the carpet. Hair floated around her face, ethereal, unreal. Extreme close-up, her translucent face pale as death. Breath vapor drifted toward me like a cold fog. Sudden bang, the camera dropped, static flicker, darkness. Faint, ghostly breathing filled the silence. Red emergency lights flickered on. The room seemed normal, yet footprints faded slowly, as if she had just vanished into the walls. Morning light entered the window, warm, soft, yet the unease lingered. My exhaustion weighed heavy. I sat on the edge of the bed, unable to shake the memory. At the front desk, the receptionist said calmly, "Room 217 hadn't been occupied except by me." My stomach dropped. I wasn't alone, but no one else was here. Security footage revealed me alone except for a single frame showing a faint figure behind me. Freeze frame, she was there, clear as day. The exterior of Stanley Hotel at dusk. Room 217 window flickered on. Fog rolled down the mountainside, curling around the hotel's base. The air felt alive, waiting. I left the hotel, but I feel her eyes watching me. Every shadow, every reflection, every corner she lingers. Some things aren't meant to be understood, only survived. Room 217 is one of them. If you stay there, the room never forgets, and neither does she. I tried to convince myself it was a nightmare. Shadows lingered. Faint whispers followed me through empty streets. Friends didn't believe me. Some never slept after seeing the footage. The Stanley Hotel still stands. Room 217 still waits, silent, patient, watching. No one knows when the next visitor will check in or leave untouched. I still feel her eyes watching me. Every shadow, every reflection, a reminder. The scariest horrors aren't monsters, they're real. Sometimes they follow you home. If you enter room 217, don't look behind you. Don't trust mirrors, never sleep peacefully. Once the room knows you, it never forgets, she never leaves. The next time you hear footsteps when no one's around, remember, it could be her. Room 217 waits, silent, watching, ready for the next guest.